All right, free radicals, welcome back. My name is Dave, and this is the Radical Independent. So I have kind of run out of patience with my fellow Americans when it comes to the two-party mess that we're in and how people retain false hope, whether it's Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, who at this point I think Bernie should drop out. Before I didn't think he should drop out, but now if he's not willing to fight for anything, he can just drop out. Just drop out. And the Green Party has offered Bernie Sanders a place, and they're perfect. They would be perfect. You want to see ballot initiatives? People would go, well, I'd be filing lawsuits left and right, going, I can't gather signatures because of the pandemic. How am I going to gather signatures of social distancing? So governors are essentially going to knock candidates off the ballot because the people can't go out there and gather signatures. You should be able to do it electronically, but it's much easier to go out in person and talk to somebody about, hey, are you a Democrat? Or are you a more independent-minded person? Well, here's a party for you, but you can't do that. So I think, look, democracy needs to flourish, and we need to get the courts involved. We need to say, hey, you know what? Because of this, we would have gotten on the ballot, say, in 40-something states. Now we're reduced to 20-something states, which is ridiculous, and it needs to be where people can actually have a choice and not have to settle for these two men who are, one's a bumbling buffoon, the other one is an incoherent person who should not be able to run for president. They should have to take some kind of competency examination. Any mental acuity, something that needs to actually show that this person is able to stand on both feet and to talk and to think and all of those things. I wouldn't trust that guy driving my car. I would say, you know what, I'm driving the car. You ride shotgun, I will. Anyway, it's just mind-blowing. And these are the two choices we're given. And then all over social media, it's like, well, what do we do? Well, there's this party here called the Green Party. What do we do? That would be number one. Now, look, if you're more libertarian, you want to go over to the Libertarian Party, fine. The Libertarians do about 60-70% of things I like, but when it comes to taking care of folks, and again, you can disagree with me on this, but we've already seen that money is an illusion at this point. And that's a topic I'm going to go into probably over on Rockfin, but that's just a concept, and it's just me throwing words out there, throwing phrases out there. But if you're going to be, here's the bottom line to that little expression. If the government can print themselves or monetize or digitize, if they can just change numbers on a balance sheet and say, oh, we didn't have $1 trillion, now we have $1 trillion here. Well, we have $6 trillion, and we don't even know what they're doing behind the scenes. That's why auditing the Federal Reserve, it's something the Green Party wants to do, by the way. Libertarians want to do it, the Greens want to do it, because we want to see the books. Open the books so we can see what you've been doing to the currency, what you've been doing to the money supply, how you've been channeling money to large institutions while the lower and working classes continue to get squeezed and marginalized and destroyed. That's what's happening now. But I'm just thinking of my fellow Americans who are sitting around going, yeah, I wish there was something we could do. Well, a vote for the Green Party, that's kind of like a wasted vote. And, gee, third parties never do anything. And can you see how the perpetuation of negative thinking creates its own reality? And everybody comes along and says, no way, I'm not going to do it. Now, I know the Tulsi Gabbard people, a lot of them are libertarians. They've all come out of the closet now, and I'm a libertarian. And I think that's the problem with me telling Tulsi-crats to go green. They don't want to go green. They really don't believe, honestly, and I'm just saying this for the first time, I don't think a lot of Tulsi-crats agree with the economic policies that have been prescribed by both Bernie and to a lesser extent Tulsi, and certainly not people like Dario Hunter or Howie Hawkins. They just don't. They truly don't believe that we should take money from our treasury, which would be going to Wall Street, and instead give it to the least of these, to use a biblical phrase that I truly believe in. We've all been down and out, except, if you're born with a silver spoon and you're in a rich family and so forth. But most of us have had financial turmoil, and there's still crushing student loan debt out there. This virus hasn't changed the underlying problems, all right? We do need a real Green New Deal. We need that. We need all of the things that you are seeing here. We need to advocate for those things in this party. This is extremely important for our future. If we just get a watered-down solution to something like climate change, which quite honestly, maybe a few years ago, I was a bit of a skeptic, but now there's too much science that's come in. And unfortunately, a lot of my Christian brothers and sisters, they're really not into science. They're into conspiracy theories. And I'm seeing people online with one conspiracy theory after another. People I thought I was like, okay, do you have any proof of that? I know the government does a lot of bad things, but we need to get a grasp on reality. And for me, I don't expect things to change unless we change. All right, unless we say, collectively, we make an adjustment. We stop worrying about what the Democrats are doing. We can say, gee, the Democrats are doing the same old crap. This is why we need the Green Party. If you're more libertarian, fine. But if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, and apparently there are a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters out there, and there's got to be a lot of people who supported other candidates who were kind of like those resistance movement type people, what I call the fake resistance. But some of those people have more Green Party tendencies, and I think they would probably find that the Green Party is a place where they can, vote their conscience. And I'm just perplexed. I mean, you'll tweet something out. You say you want a real Green New Deal? You got to vote for the Green Party. They're the ones that started this Green New Deal stuff. And they didn't just write platitudes down on a paper. They actually mean it. They actually mean this is the legislation. These are the laws they want to put into place. Coronavirus legislation. Far too little, far too late. The Green Party, if you had a political party and a president and leadership that was willing to get things done and bring people together in the process, you'd have something. It would be an effective alternative to what appears to be a lot of dithering out there. And I just don't understand why people aren't into making a switch. I try to do videos like, hey, there are supporters making a switch, but then I see them online and they're not making a switch. They're holding on. They want to continue to talk about failures of their candidates and then say, well, they're going to be back in 2024. I don't care about 2024 right now. I care about 2020. It's the perfect storm. You have, again, a Trump against Biden, I think, and Biden is incoherent and probably going to be incapacitated at some point. He's got his wife out there talking on his behalf, and yet people are still complaining about something that, like Bernie not going after Biden. Bernie's never going to go after Biden. It's done. It's over with. It's time to grab your gear and move over to the Green Party. It's time to, get ballot access in the state that you're in. I'm hoping that there are going to be lawsuits filed against these governors who are blocking, movements like the Green Party. The reason they're blocking is because they're going to use the crisis. Never let a good crisis go to waste. So we can, again, reestablish the two-party nightmare that we currently have. I mean, that's essentially what people are doing right now in these states. They're protecting the two-party establishment, which is basically walking in lockstep with corporate America. And you want a revolution? You're not going to get a revolution. You want a peaceful revolution? I should rephrase that. You want the Green Party. You want peace-loving Americans. And by the way, the Green Party is truly your only anti-war party, who truly means it. Now, the Libertarians, if they're promoting a lot of free market principles, I guarantee you those free market principles include weapons manufacturers and people that are designing, militarized police gear and so forth. I'm just saying there are certain things that are going to promote war, and there are going to be other things that promote peace. And the Green Party, the way they want to do the economy, it's a peace and sort of calming sort of party, rather than this radical party that guns are, everybody should own a gun, gun rights. Gun rights are fine, but background checks, real hardcore background checks, and limitations on firepower. And most people agree with that. Like 90% of the country agrees with that. So, again, my frustration, I just don't understand why people aren't even looking at this party. I'll put a tweet out there about it. I might get one like. I might be lucky if I get a retweet off of it. And it's mind-blowing. And maybe if Jesse Ventura comes back and he wants to run as a Green Party candidate, maybe that will get people going. I don't know. But this party, their platform, with somebody who can at least communicate their ideas and who knows what they're talking about, their platform is just, it's already a game changer. And people should be gravitating toward this. But instead, they're thinking about what might happen in 2024 if Tulsi Gabbard runs again. Good luck to Tulsi. I hope she comes back. But I think everybody, if they come back, they need those two candidates, Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard. They cannot run within the Democratic Party. They can't do it. It would be stupid for them to continue to do that when they've seen how poorly they're treated and how the media is in bed and promoting this neoliberal agenda and tearing anybody down who runs counter to it. So the Green Party nominee, whoever that will certainly be branded as an agent of Vladimir Putin, and I can't wait to see that because, again, it's the most ridiculous McCarthyite thing that you can possibly imagine. Wouldn't you want to be part of a counter-cultural movement where you just ignore the news media and you go around it, you go to independent media, and you create a groundswell? And eventually, they'll start covering you, and it'll probably be negative publicity, but there's an old adage that says any publicity is good publicity. And whether that's Dario Hunter or Howie Hawkins or Jesse Ventura or Bernie Sanders, if he accepted the offer to come on over to the Green Party, it would be a game-changer, revolutionary moment in our politics at a time where we need it the most. All right, I'm done with this video. Thank you for watching. Please stay subscribed to the channel. That's all I'm asking you to do. You can send a PayPal donation if you can. It's davidjspuria@gmx.com. That's a one-time PayPal donation. You can also follow me over on Twitter if you'd like. The follows probably just help me get this message out to the folks who need to hear it the most. And those are independent voters who are really concerned about their planet, about their healthcare system, and about all of these big-ticket issues that every other political person is ignoring other than just a handful in the Congress. And we need to bring more of these ideas to the forefront so when people hear them and respond to them, they'll say, hey, where do I go to find out more? And it'd be gp.org for more information. I'm Dave, and I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching, and stay safe, please.